Hello, I haven't done one of these in a while, so I apologize that it's been quite a bit. I've been quite busy doing things and stuff, but I am back to talk about certain maps. I don't think I have time to talk about a billion million maps all at once, but there are a few that I have quite a lot of things to say about them, and the things I have to say about them are pretty specific. This map is one I've played a couple times because it's been tested a couple times. This is VIP Race or VIPR Gateway, not to be confused with Getaway, which I got confused with initially when loading onto the map, but it's actually Gateway. And this map is very interesting because it is actually 3-team. So if you join the yellow team, because there's no real proper integration for it, if you join the yellow team, yeah, you just get put in a giant kill box that says L. And if you join red and blue team, they have civs on them, and red and blue team try to cap this point for green team. The timer is about 10 minutes. I've obviously extended it because I was messing around on the map quite a bit. And the map it's gone through quite a few versions already. This last point specifically being the thing that has changed by far the most. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about, like, more higher concept ideas, or maybe not higher concept, but like larger concept ideas, rather than giving like hyper-specific detailed feedback on a lot of the minutia. Like things where it's like, when you spawn in on green team, you face this wall, so you naturally want to like walk out this way when the point is actually a 180. That's really bad. You should never really do that in your map. Just flip this around. Like, literally take this and just flip it around and have the spawn room go like this. There's no reason it should be the other way. Or another thing would be, green team is on low ground right next to their own point, meaning that they just get mogged whenever they're not, like, on the point. So green team doesn't want to, like, hold here, they want to be holding out here, and then if they ever get pushed back here, they just get spammed into hell down there. There's a sticky trap here, there's a sticky trap here, like, it is, holy moly, it is hell. But something notable happened on this map, where, in the concept of 3-team, green team wins if no one captures the point, blue team wins if they capture the point, and red team wins if they capture the point. So in a way, you've kind of wanted to tackle this dynamic where red and blue team cooperate against the common enemy and then fight each other. The problem is that your layout isn't really conducive to that kind of format, because you sort of have... Here, I'll walk through it, right? And this is because it's 3 teams, so it's a very experimental mode. I myself am not as familiar with it as I am with other game modes. Like, I could talk your head off about, like, Payload Race. I love Payload Race. I've done a lot of analysis of it. I've made my own Payload Race maps. Like, I feel like I understand Payload Race on a very fundamental level, to the point where I could break down, like, what makes and doesn't make a really solid Payload Race map. And if you put a Payload Race map in front of me, I could, like, dice it up. I could dice it up like a sous chef. So, with this dynamic, you kind of don't have a central middle area. You have this route that connects between red and blue team that each of them can take to thwart the other team, that being red and blue team. But there's not really any point in doing that, because red and blue team, it doesn't matter if they kill each other, so long as they're not on the point. Green team wants red and blue team to fight each other, but the only place where red and blue team can really fight each other is, like I said, this one little hallway that connects them, which is pretty weird. Despite this being here, the only people I saw using it were, like, spies, because it's just a really long tunnel. So most people who were using it was, like, a spy. Sometimes, like, a combo would roll out through here. But the thing is like, if I'm red, right? If I'm red, and I'm like, okay, let's go. Oh, hey, let's go to the right. Let's go kill these guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I Kritzkrieg my soldier, and he goes, boom, it's massive. He kills all of blue team. He kills all of blue team. He is insane. I've actually shot myself in the foot. How did I shoot myself in the foot? Well, the timer is shared between civilians, so you don't want to kill the opposite civilian because then you yourself get less time to do your own objective. The objective is shared between you both, which is really weird. I mean, maybe it's not weird per se, but it's kind of unintuitive. Normally, a lot of Tier 2 players are trained to, when they see the civilian, they just want to kill him. But in this game mode, I was seeing people calm, like, no, 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 don't shoot! Leave him alone! Get away from him! From the civilian, because, yeah, if you kill the civilian, you are fucking yourself over, if not your team, more. Especially because if you invest something like an Uber into your combo on the side over here on the flank, you're not going to be able to Uber through what you need it for. This one large doorway on low ground. Let's talk about this doorway. So, I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast. It's just I have a lot of things I want to say. I apologize, SuperSandvich, if I talk too fast. I apologize. You can watch in 0.75 speed. I apologize. So when it comes to these large doorways, both of these large doorways, like the map is symmetrical. The map is mirrored symmetry. But what kind of feels a little unintuitive is that in a prior version, Green Team was indoors in this, frankly, quite too large green facility. I think it's a great idea to move Green Team into an outdoor space. The thing is you took away so much of the gameplay space and so much of the map when you did that. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because, like I said, that previous version was massive. I mean, the previous version had 2 stories, technically 3, because there's like a lower area over here. It had 2 stories, a lower area. There was a ton of high ground all around the point. There was like a bunch of routes that flooded into the point. You were getting sniped left, right, and center by blue team, red team, green team. People were like jump padding from their spawns and careening onto the point, which was on low ground. It was really chaotic. It was really unlikely for one of the VIP teams to win, and Green Team won, I would say, 70 to 80% of the time. Which, in a mode like this, when it's 2-on-1, like there's 2 teams against that one team, kind of feels like maybe it shouldn't be the case. What I would posit, what I would hazard to say should be the way that this is made, or maybe not should be the way, maybe that's a bit too pretentious, but the way that I personally would design this is to make the best spots for Green Team be directly correlated to the area around the point. I think having the point have 2 stories to it is actually really cool. I really like the element of having 2 stories on the point because it kind of made a lot of the dynamics around it really interesting, because you would have red team pushing on the low ground, blue team pushing on the high ground, and it'd be like a really cool dynamic of like each team kind of owns an area. Blue team owns this side, red team owns this side, green team owns this side. But by taking so much of that map away, you've now just confided all of Green Team. All of Green Team's playable space is this square. For 10 minutes, roughly, Green Team is confined to this square. The way that Green Team throws the game is they push out at the start of the round, they try to kill people, they die, and then the other team just walks into an open point, because like I said, once Green Team is pushed back to here, they just lose. You don't really have any positions here. You just have this cubby here, which gets spammed out from that side, and this cubby here, which gets spammed out from that side. So, all the engineers, they had 1 engineer on each side. It was actually really funny. You would have an engineer here, and an engineer here, and then you just have people, like, pressuring these doorways. And whenever a team was Ubering in, you'd back up and rotate through your spawn to the other side, and then you just spam the point from the other side with the team here who can't see you. So effectively, 2 teams are fighting the point at the same time. I think this is cool, but it's a bit... I don't know, it felt a bit repetitive because there's only 1 route into the point. It feels bare minimum there should be like a route right here. Like, it almost feels like it's begging for there to be a route right here. Like, I think a shared middle route, maybe not in this exact manner, right? Maybe not in this exact manner where it's just a hallway that you turn into, and then right here there's a doorway that just dumps you out into the middle point, because that might bypass a lot of things. But if you imagine with me for a second that a lot of the map that you had gotten rid of were to be there, green team could then set up, like, in this area in front of the point and be playing more of the map. I think also, having these giant sightline blockers here, I don't even know if these are sightline blockers, but just having these giant, having this be so low felt really bad, because one, it meant I couldn't rocket jump in. Two, it meant that the strategy that green team had before, where people would like kind of jump pad out of spawn and then land in the chokes and start bombing people out, you can't really do that anymore because there's this giant roof over top both sides. And then on top of that, there's no like places to play anyways. Like, what are you gonna do? You walk out here, you play this little nook, and then you get spammed out because there's this doorway and then there's this area. Like, green team is just incentivized at every turn to play here. I think by removing this giant thing, and when I say remove, I mean all of, like, this is just gone. You'll incentivize green. Just by doing that, you will incentivize green team to play more in the courtyard. I think that's important. I think it's important to make green team in 3CP want to push out. I think if you don't make the defending team, in any map, right? What's the most annoying thing in any map that you play? The most annoying thing is when the defending team is just sitting there, like, doing nothing, because they have no incentive to push out, i.e. engineer in CTF. You sit in the intel room, and if you leave, you're playing much worse. You're putting your team in a huge disadvantage, but if you stay, you're having so much less fun. Vice versa, the person attacking gets really annoyed because there's always this engineer sitting here, because that's the most optimal thing. There's always the most optimal thing to have the level 3 sentry there. There's nothing dynamic about it. If you were to make it so that in certain instances, green team felt like they had the option to push out, players might, instead of making the mistake of, like, I don't know, like making the mistake of getting shot, like getting out aimed, getting out dueled, the mistake would then be pushing out, because they felt like they had an opportunity to. They felt like this was good enough. It kind of baits them into pushing out and feeling like they can overextend a little bit. I mean, this area here is so much more fun to play in than this area here. But this area is where you spend 99% of the time. Your medic holds Uber right here. You wait for one team to Uber in. 1, 2, pop late, and then you have add on them. And then you push them back out. Rinse, repeat for 10 minutes. By adding the dynamic that makes it so that one team feels like they can push out a little bit more, that being the green team, it'll make the map have more distinct moments and actual sort of events that you can catalog happened over the course of it. I played this map for 30 minutes, and I feel like every single round I played, even though, granted, I didn't play green team once. I didn't get green team one time. Or maybe if I did, it was the one round where it rolled. But I was playing in this courtyard right here for like 25 minutes. There were times where I just got so bored that instead of playing the objective, I just started going through the tunnels only. Because, like, if I'm a spy, right? If I'm a spy, I go up here, I decloak where? I decloak all the way back here in front of their spawn door. It feels like there should be some area that I can decloak in, but I couldn't find anything to do. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm screwed. It could be interesting to put, like, a small doorway that goes from here to here as like a little back tunnel thing that spies could maybe use. Like spies to walk up here, decloak, and then come back. That'd be kind of cool. Or interesting. Maybe that's a dumb idea though. I don't know. But I think 3CP is actually really interesting. I think that you have a really cool idea here, and I will say, the first time I played this map, in an older version, I was really negative on it, because personally, I felt like 3CP, at least in the way that it was being communicated to me, I didn't understand it. But once I started understanding it, and I started understanding it like, okay, I shouldn't go after the other team, I should start only focusing the point, it became more fun. The problem is that the map kind of subtly guided me. It pulled a little pranks on me. It told me, psst, 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 come here, go through this, psst, psst, go through this little flank route, go. Oh, the VIP's over there, go kill him. Now you have less time for your own team, and you lose because of your decision making. If only you had those extra minutes from killing the enemy VIP, which you probably shouldn't have done. I think by accentuating this area into more of a true middle area, like, imagine if instead of the point being here, or maybe the point can stay here, but imagine if in this area there was like a lobby in addition to this back, like, outdoors route. If you had a lobby route that was shared between both teams instead of this tunnel which connected them, then both of the teams could take the easier route to the point, but the more dangerous one because the enemy teams are like both right there. By having a simple concept like that give and take of, hey, the easiest route to the point is the same route the enemy team can use, that itself would just, I think, immediately make your map play 30 times better. Maybe not 30 times better. Maybe that's an over-exaggeration. But I think it would help the pacing of your map quite a lot. I think this map is really cool. I want to reiterate that. I'm sorry if I seem incredibly negative, but I truly do feel like this map has grown on me the more I've played it. And I think it's really close to having that like click moment where everyone gets it. You have that magical moment where everyone who's playing it feels like they understand the map, and it's just beautiful. It's fireworks everywhere. Everyone's having fun. People are getting shit on and laughing. Like, that's the dream. That's the goal for, I think, a new experimental type of game mode like this to achieve. Is that click aha moment. I want to play this again. Let's cue that map up again. That's the exciting part. And I think just by having that central area that really plays into the mode's dynamic of having two teams battling one team, but they're all against each other, I think that is what the aha moment this map is missing. Because I went through a similar, and the reason I feel like I gravitated towards this map so much, with so much I have to say about it, is because I experienced a similar phenomenon when I was trying to make my 4 payload race maps. When I was trying to do 4 payload race, fundamentally, I wasn't playing to the strength of the game mode. I was treating it more like, okay, well, 2 payload races like this, so 4 payload race will just be this, but 2 extra carts, when I wasn't treating it like its own unique game mode. I think when you start trying to play to the strengths, instead of trying to play to what you know works, you do get things that are more experimental, but more experimental modes definitely need those kinds of ideas and those kinds of concepts that push the mode forward and really make it into something special. I think when it comes to 3CP, in the future, I'll probably make a 3CP map. This map has given me a lot of ideas. I don't know if it'd be VIPR, or not 3CP, I mean the 3-team map. Because this has definitely given me a lot of ideas for potential modes where one team is defending, 2 teams are attacking. I actually, personally, I'm not going to leak this, but, well, it's not a leak, but like, it's for my own, like, personal leak, I guess. I would do this in a payload concept. I think a map where 2 teams are pushing a payload cart and 1 neutral team is defending, holy, that sounds awesomely hype. It's like payload race, because I love payload race, but with 1 team defending or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Because then you have a mode where it's a little bit more dynamic, where blue team can more thoroughly stop red team, and red team can more thoroughly stop blue team. But I think a control point works exactly, like, perfectly fine for this instance. I'm sorry I'm yapping so much at a million miles an hour. I haven't been able to talk about level design in so long. But this is a really cool idea. I hope you keep iterating on this map. I look forward to playing it again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.